Welcome to War Bios, the podcast that delves into the most pivotal battles in history, where strategy meets courage and the fate of nations is decided. I'm your host, General Biography, and today we're going to explore one of the most iconic conflicts of the Napoleonic Wars, the Battle of Marengo. This battle, fought on June 14, 1800, was a masterclass in tactical innovation and strategic consequence, showcasing Napoleon's brilliance on the battlefield. The origins of the Battle of Marengo can be traced back to the late 18th century, when the French Revolution's radical ideas began to spread across Europe, sparking a series of conflicts that would engulf the continent. In 1796, Napoleon Bonaparte, then a relatively unknown general, was appointed commander-in-chief of the French army in Italy. He quickly proved himself to be a brilliant tactician, winning a string of victories against the Austrian and Sardinian armies. As the French army advanced through northern Italy, they encountered fierce resistance from the Austrians, who were determined to defend their territories. The two armies clashed in a series of battles, including the Battle of Castiglione, where Napoleon's forces emerged victorious. This set the stage for the eventual confrontation at Marengo, which would become one of the most decisive battles of the Napoleonic Wars. In the months leading up to the battle, Napoleon's army had been engaged in a series of skirmishes with Austrian forces, testing their defenses and probing for weaknesses. The French had also been busy building roads, bridges, and fortifications, preparing the terrain for the upcoming battle. Meanwhile, General Michael von Melas, the commander of the Austrian army, was under pressure from his superiors to deliver a decisive victory, and he knew that the fate of Italy hung in the balance. The town of Marengo, located in the province of Alessandria, was a strategic location that controlled access to the Po Valley. The surrounding countryside was characterized by rolling hills, dense forests, and numerous waterways, which would play a crucial role in the battle. As the armies converged on Marengo, the die was cast for a conflict that would decide the fate of Italy and cement Napoleon's reputation as a military genius. Key figures like Napoleon, General Louis-Alexandre Berthier, and the fearless Joachim Murat played crucial roles in shaping the battle's trajectory. The Austrians, meanwhile, relied on the experience of General von Melas and the bravery of his troops to counter the French onslaught. As these forces clashed on the outskirts of Marengo, the air was electric with tension, the outcome hanging precariously in the balance. The sound of drums, bugles, and cannons echoed across the landscape, signaling the start of one of the most epic battles of the Napoleonic Wars. The stage was set for a dramatic confrontation that would witness the intersection of tactical brilliance and strategic vision, forever changing the course of European history. The curtain is about to rise on one of the most epic battles of all time. Let's march towards the sound of gunfire and witness the unfolding drama that was Marengo. As the battle commenced, the French army, led by Napoleon, advanced across the plain of Marengo, with the Austrians arrayed before them. The terrain was characterized by rolling hills, dense forests, and numerous waterways, including the Bormida River, which flowed through the town of Marengo. The French had spent months preparing the terrain, building roads and bridges to facilitate their advance. The Austrian army, under General von Melas, was deployed in a defensive position, with their right flank anchored on the village of Spinetta and their left flank on the village of San Giuliano. The Austrians had also built fortifications, including earthworks and redoubts, to protect their positions. As the French advanced, they were met with fierce resistance from the Austrian artillery, which pounded them with cannon fire. However, Napoleon's tactical genius soon became apparent as he deployed his troops in a series of clever maneuvers, exploiting weaknesses in the Austrian lines. The French cavalry, led by Joachim Murat, played a crucial role in the battle, charging repeatedly into the fray and breaking through the Austrian defenses. One of the key turning points in the battle came when General Louis-Alexandre Berthier, Napoleon's chief of staff, discovered a weakness in the Austrian lines near the village of Castel Ceriolo. Berthier quickly alerted Napoleon, who dispatched a division of troops to exploit the gap. The French troops poured through the opening, catching the Austrians off guard and sending them reeling. As the battle raged on, the French began to gain the upper hand, pushing the Austrians back towards the town of Marengo. The Austrians fought valiantly, but they were ultimately unable to withstand the French onslaught. By the end of the day, the Austrians had suffered heavy casualties and were in full retreat. In the aftermath of the battle, Napoleon's victory was hailed as a masterpiece of tactical genius. As he himself said, "The Battle of Marengo was won by the bravery of our troops and the cleverness of our maneuvers. The consequences of the battle were far-reaching, with the French gaining control of northern Italy and paving the way for Napoleon's future conquests." The curtain is about to fall on our exploration of Marengo, but the drama of this epic battle will continue to unfold as we examine its enduring legacy. In the years following the battle, Napoleon's military prowess continued to shape European history. His victories at Austerlitz, Jena, and Wagram further solidified his position as a dominant force on the continent. The Treaty of Pressburg, signed in December 1805, marked a significant milestone in this regard, as it forced Austria to cede territory to France and its allies, thereby redrawing the map of Europe. The impact of Marengo was not limited to the military sphere alone. Napoleon's victory also had far-reaching consequences for European politics and society. The battle marked the beginning of a period of French hegemony over Europe, with Napoleon's empire stretching from the Iberian Peninsula to Poland and from the North Sea to the Mediterranean. One of the key legacies of Marengo was the spread of revolutionary ideas and reforms throughout Europe. As French armies marched across the continent, they brought with them the principles of the French Revolution, including liberty, equality, and fraternity. While these ideals were not always consistently applied, they nonetheless had a profound impact on European society, contributing to the development of modern nation-states and the emergence of new social and political movements. The Battle of Marengo also left an enduring legacy in terms of military strategy and tactics. Napoleon's use of speed, maneuver, and combined arms at Marengo influenced military thinking for generations to come. His emphasis on adaptability, initiative, and decisive action continues to shape military doctrine today, with many regarding him as one of the greatest military minds in history. As we reflect on the significance of Marengo, it is worth noting that the battle itself was not without controversy. The French victory came at a high cost, with both sides suffering heavy casualties. The Austrians in particular were criticized for their handling of the battle, with some arguing that General von Melis's defensive strategy had been overly cautious and ineffective. Despite these criticisms, the Battle of Marengo remains an important milestone in European history, marking a significant turning point in Napoleon's military campaigns and shaping the course of European politics and society for generations to come. As Napoleon himself once said, "Marengo was the most difficult battle I ever fought, but it was also the most glorious." Today, the legacy of Marengo continues to be felt, serving as a reminder of the power of strategic thinking, military prowess, and visionary leadership. In conclusion, our exploration of the Battle of Marengo has taken us on a journey through one of the most pivotal moments in European history. From the battle itself to its aftermath and lasting legacy, we have seen how Napoleon's victory at Marengo shaped the course of European politics, society, and military strategy. Thank you for joining us on this journey through history. That's all for today's War Bios. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, I'm General Biography, reminding you to keep marching toward victory.